it up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders.
What up, what up, what up, and welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money. This is your final destination to get all things you need in the world of trying to make informed betting decisions. This network pioneers in leveraging tools, technology, and then putting our experience together to come up with the winning formula. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys joining us. And if you're new to Sports Money, you guys have come at the right time. What a cranking couple of months we're about to have. We've already been having, frankly, let's be honest. We've been live broadcasting every primetime football game for the NFL. We've been live broadcasting every live UFC card, and we slayed the dragon again this Saturday. It's tough for some, but that's where the experience and the tools come into play for us here at Sports Money. Tremendous ladder, tremendous 12-1. I reflected on this weekend and I said, if you looked at what happened on that Saturday card, the 12-1, the 12 plus 1200 submission prop that I gave you guys live wasn't just giving it to you guys as a live bet or a, hey, let's just take a dart at the board. This was a educated decision sharing with you that the other guy's only path to victory was wrestling. He's going to have to go to the mat if he's got any prayer. He's going to be looking to shoot takedowns. And when he does that, the physical dominance is going to take over and he's going to post his chin up and get busted up late. And that's exactly to the T. It was like 20 seconds left, 12-1. That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. We laddered like 6 different spots up to a plus 550. It was like plus 475, plus 550s. Not an accident. We said we circled it, had that one circled. And then it was like 16 significant strikes in the first round. And I was crap talking myself on that process. But it was all in all a very successful weekend. We fired. The NFL was pretty good too. Look, I gave you guys a whole bunch of plays. We went 4-1. A little disappointment. I don't want to start the week off on a negative here, but I gave out for all the members. I gave out the afternoon NFL card. And while a lot of people had a tough NFL weekend, we didn't. We went 4-1 on that afternoon card. And then last night with the San Francisco 49ers, Ramon and I had that thing fired up. Jeff joined us at halftime. He gave that second half bet as well. So we've been just doing our due diligence, just driving, just grinding, trying to go out there and find winning bets for you guys and then sharing them across the board. So look, I mentioned it. Lots going on in the world. First and foremost, I want to shout out Kevin Carrier, our friend and athlete out there fighting for the LFA, and it's been announced it will be November 21st at the Seneca Niagara. That is in Niagara Falls. He will be sporting the Sports Money logo. And if you guys want to come and hang out, start planning now. We got about a month. We got about a month and a day, to be exact, until that event. So get ready, get set. There's plenty of places to stay in the area. And I know quite a few of you guys are around the Niagara Falls area. Would love to hang out at the casino together and have a couple adult beverages. Moving forward, no more Dana White Contender Series. Been hearing a lot about Ramon wanting to go live on Tuesdays. So we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. But Wednesdays, you'll get our first strike plays. You'll get Sean Fox. 7 p.m. is going to pop off to give you guys some NBA action. And then he'll talk some NHL as well. Then we've got Thursday live NFL action. Friday's a little bit of a respite. We spent some time getting ready to cap the card. It's an early Saturday UFC card. So we're going to go live on Saturday for UFC. And of course, we'll be talking about college football, the NHL, MLB, and the NBA at that point is going to be the new addition to the elk of the Saturday entertainment before Sunday. And Sunday, we have a new show. Excited. I'm going to tell you guys this. It's going to be about the NFL. Surprise. It's Sunday. Time to plant the old Sports Money flag in the ground for the NFL. And I'm excited to bring on my co-host for the Sunday 11 a.m. show. I think you guys are going to like him. He's been around the business a ton. And man, I'm happy to call a friend of mine. So we're going to try to bring you guys some value-added breakdowns of every game. is what it's going to look like. So get ready for that on Sunday. Yeah, fresh off a Saturday in the UFC. Yep. Sorry. Switch to beers. It's okay. It's all good. And I'm excited. Like I said, there's so much happening in the world of the Sports Money Network here that just get excited. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. I just think about it all and I'm like, man, we're really doing all of this. It's hard to believe. It wasn't too long ago, Jeff and I spent Saturdays on screen together. I think there was one person in the chat, and we were giving you guys our UFC plays. Nobody does it like we do. We said that from the beginning. We're going to find plus money plays. We're going to crank it out. We're going to give you guys not just the big minus 400s. We're going to tell you how they're going to win and what round they're going to do it. And more often than not, we were on fire this Saturday. So just gets me excited. Just gets excited. Oh, man. Woo! Let's take a step back. The most important thing we can do is recap our action. Let me pull it up on BetStamp. I keep track of it all there. And we had a big Friday. We'll go all the way back to Friday. We had a 3.1 unit day net gain overall. Some things didn't go our way, and some things did go our way, but we're grinders. We're just continuing to try to chase that blood trail into the woods. And if we're lucky, we'll come home with some dinner. Sword and shield in hand. The Red Wings got the job done in a 2-1 victory. Let me move this over here. I'm wondering why my neck is cranked to the right. It's like, because everything I'm doing is turning to the right. I'm going to start doing some things to the left. I'm going to readjust the office here and do some things to the left. Anyhow, the Red Wings get the W for us at plus 132. The Washington Capitals get the W for us at minus 118. We lost the over 6. It was 3-2 in that Vancouver-Chicago game. And we did not get our minus 1.5 under 6.5 parlay, but the minus 1.5 did cash. That was just kind of maybe a little greedy shove at the plus 263. As far as college football is concerned, we got the under 48 in the Nebraska game. We got the Utah State minus 4. So we lost to Cal minus 8. They won by 3. Turns out it was a UNC spot with all that steam moving in that direction. Tried to get around it, but just couldn't quite get there. They won outright, but we did not. And then the immaculate Ohtani game. We were all over it. We had the team total under 3.5, minus 138 for the Milwaukee Brew Crew. We had the Ohtani over 6.5 strikeout. I did not have him with 3+ home runs. Just to be honest, just to be full disclosure, just to be honest, we did not have him for 3+ home runs. That had to pay a beast. And if you parlayed that with his over outs and his over strikeouts, man, you're probably still on vacation. I only gave out one play here in the forum. Pregaming and the messages that I put out there in the community tab are being tracked here through BetStamp. So I want to try to keep all the pre-gaming activity in one house. And I gave out the under 6. It was 0-0 at the end of the first period. Final score was 5-3 New Jersey. That stunk. And then yesterday, we get to the NFL yesterday, going down the line out there. Gold members for the early action. And then I gave the card out to all the members. All members. 10 of you nice people liked it. Thank you for the 10 that took the time to like it. I probably won't do that again. If you guys aren't liking it, I probably just won't do that again. Because frankly, silver members and gold members get the access to the afternoon plays and extra stuff throughout the week. And then the gold members get it on the weekend. And, it's just not worth my time for 10. I appreciate the 10 of you that did like it. I do appreciate that. Let me just make sure I'm saying 10. Let me make sure that this is accurate. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure I'm factually correct. Oh, one of them was me. That's why I said 10. I liked it. I gave you guys the Colts. Gave you the Giants plus 8.5. They almost won the damn game outright. I did lose the teaser, the Giants in the under 46.5. I gave you the Arizona Cardinals plus 7, and I gave you the Dallas Cowboys on the money line. Minus 120, minus 109, minus 105, and minus 120s were all cashers. I got 10 thumbs up. So we probably won't do that again. But that's okay. It's all good. We're just trying to give you guys more winning bets. And if you don't want them, then, the whole thing about YouTube is trying to put content together that you guys do want. Content that's worth taking note of are the post tabs out there with the polls. The community polls are in play. We've got one up there for today. I posted it this afternoon for the Major League Baseball game. 29 of you voted on that. And I told you guys before, what a tremendous tool. This community has gotten so sharp when it comes to selecting these key games, these feature games that you don't want to make a bet before you at least take a stop by to see what is doing. And right now, 62% of the community said the Toronto Blue Jays are going to win. Again, 29 votes. We want to get a large sample. You guys are the sharpest chat in the business. Some channels look at their members and they're like, hey, tell us what you like so we can fade you because you're public, which is fucking ridiculous. It's disrespectful is what it is. And I believe that we've developed this thing now. We're going on year number 3. We're 2 years deep in developing this channel, this content, this time slot specifically, and sharing. Remember, they don't want us to share. They want us just to tell you what to play. And I believe we all need to work on sharpening the sword so that we can slay that dragon, the aforementioned dragon. So I'm fired up, you guys. We got an NHL parlay. We got 2 NHL parlays in play, but one's a player prop parlay. We're going to try to kick these off a little bit more frequently now that the season's a couple weeks matured. I've got action in Seattle and Philadelphia, Buffalo and Montreal, and Winnipeg and Calgary. I've got action in the ALCS I'll share with you guys. I think that's a parlay too, as a matter of fact, 2-legger. And then Monday Night Football. We'll talk some props, some sides, some totals. We'll talk about the live stream, which is going to pop off in 32 minutes. 32 minutes will be 6:45. So we've got work to do. We got to get moving. We got to get hustling. We got to get these 7 p.m., even before 7 p.m., because the NHL did us zero. The NFL did us zero favors. We are thrust with 7 p.m. action. It's going to be a late night tonight. Second game pops off at 10 p.m. First game, Tampa and Detroit. Showdown. Battle. Some would say bounce back. And then we've got the late night game, which will be, why am I blanking here? Way to go, Mikey Money. It's going to be the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. That tells you what I think of that game. That's how much that one sticks on. I think, well, I've got a bevy of props out there over at Winnable. I'll talk about some of them here, or at least some high-level some strategery around how I think this thing's going to go. But we do have to get going because we have the hard stop here. 6:45, we're going to pop over and go live. It's going to be the dual stream. We'll pop it off here with Sports Money and Razor Sharp Picks, the best damn collab stream in the business. I would just say the best damn live stream in the business. Nobody does it like we do it. Nobody wins like we win. And nobody has fun like we have fun. So and frankly, nobody cocktails like we cocktail. So it's just a bevy of experience and just glorious celebration of life. So we'll see that at 6:45, you guys. We're live everywhere now too. We got Instagram popping. If you haven't checked out Instagram, make sure you get on over there. I think I went live on Winnable. I'm not sure if the link's live over there or not, but in any event, I appreciate you guys joining me here tonight. Let's get this thumbs up button underway. The most important thing you can do to show support and love for the show is hit the thumbs up button. Clearly, you don't want the post for the football card, but maybe you'll appreciate the show that we're doing here. Maybe you can just give me a thumbs up on this one. Show some love, show some support, and then we'll get to business. Okay. Let's make sure everything's firing properly. Let's make sure we're set up properly. The problem when I put Instagram on is it does lag just a little bit, like maybe 20 seconds. So it's weird to see the screen here and the screen there, and every screen's a little bit different, but let's get to business. You guys know the deal. My favorite part of the show. Get out there, smash that thumbs up button first and foremost, and then get in here and share your best bets. I want to talk about what you guys are on. This is my favorite part of the show. Is talking about your guys. I share my plays. I already made it. The fun of me giving you my plays is gone now. I already made them. I'm just anxious to see what they do. But I love talking about what you guys are on. You never know what curve busters are going to come out there from you guys. We got some heavy hitters in this chat. And I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for being here with us and growing as we've continued to grow, and excited to take the next step forward. So it's going to be fun, man. We're building. We're cultivating. We're building bankrolls. Fired up, kid. Look, primetime college football has been really good to me. On these shows, we've been winning quite a bit. The Saturday afternoon stuff seems to be a mess for me. I got to tighten that up a little bit. So I'll see if I can't focus on that this weekend and try to get to it a little earlier, maybe. He had like a 1-2 and then a 2-1 and then like a 1-2 and a 2-1. Like, I'm just treading water. I'd rather just fucking piss in the wind than I'd rather get it all over my legs than just go out there and give up the vig like that. So anyhow, let's get to work. And Jover's back in the house. Jover, thoughts and prayers to your mom, my friend. I hope things are doing well and the family is on the road to recovery. My friend Joe T says, Mikey Money, Kraken Flyers first period over 1.5 and the Buccaneers Lions over 54 for Joe T. That's why we come in here. We get plenty of action, not just for me, but this damn chat. So sharp in the business. Let's go. Stop Geo, my friends, giving out a ton of player props here. Well, I'm going to say a ton. It's got some good data behind it. That's what we like. Isn't just a play. We want to see some data too. It's got Jabari Gibbs over 2.5 first quarter receiving yards on FanDuel. Running backs are 6-1 to this number in versus Tampa Bay this year. Gibbs has cleared this in 4 straight. Well, now we go. I'm going to write all your boys' plays down here today. Going to write them all down. Okay. Onward and upward. Flea Mathis is here. There's Bo Jackson. Bo, man, I hope you had a great time last night at the game. We gave you a thoughts and prayers, my friend. Best wishes for you. And then we bet on Toronto, or at least I did. And and it came through, my friend. So congrats. We got game 7 tonight. We're not there yet, but we are certainly on our way. I think I got a nice trend you'll enjoy there. Bo Jackson says Vladdy's next home run will set the Blue Jays franchise postseason record at 7. He wore a Austin Matthews jersey to the game today. Some people will read into that. I don't care. Oh, that was a good one. Bo Jackson says he's currently tied with Jose Bautista and Joe Carter. Of course, Jose Bautista, slugger. Nobody will forget what he did with his time in Texas. Bo Jackson says yesterday was also Bautista's birthday, and he threw the first pitch, and the rest was history. No shit. Shout out to Irish King in the house. Jerry Davis is so pissed rushing to get my Jays parlay in yesterday, and I was going over 5 for Isavich and under 6 for Gilbert, and my book flipped the order, and I didn't notice. That sucks. Bo Jackson says, in case y'all didn't notice, he's on the Jays money line tonight. That's important to note. Our resident Toronto whisperer. When he's back in his squad, you play him. When he's fading the squad, sometimes I still play him. And then I'm mad I played him. Shout out to Flea. This has been here since day 1, my friend. Appreciate you, Flea Mathis. You certainly have been. A lot of you guys have been here since the upstart here, so I appreciate you guys. And man, look at what we're doing. Look how we're growing. Just bringing in fresh faces and guys that are trying to help you guys win more bets. Bo Jackson says, I'm not a homer bet. No, man, you are certainly not. Nicholas Handy's here. Stop Geo says, shit, forgetting that NFL Sunday look-ahead show I've been asking about. I'm going to have to bust out the camera and go live with you boys. Hey. I'm really fired up for the new programming here, the guests that we have. I think you guys will enjoy. Known gunslinger in the industry. Nicholas Sandy says, I like it every time I see it. Peter Gracia says, sup, Mikey, let's cash. The Futon Bets says, Mike Evans under 65.5 receiving yards. Sup, buddy. And there's Razor Sharp Picks. There's Razor Sharp Picks gifted a sports money membership. He says, big night ahead. Let's go, Razor. Let's go. It is a big night ahead. I got a bunch of new videos in there. I was clipping some videos earlier today. I think I got 3 new ones in there. Maybe 4. 3 or 4. I can't recall. Big night, Razor. Shout out to you, my friend. Irish King says, let's get it. Jerry Davis, I'm on Tampa points and laying with Seattle. Our Lopez, I'm still alive on Survivor. Good for you, my man. I'm not. I won live, but I lost the 50K. Jerry Davis says, I don't have, nor probably will ever have, Instagram. Yeah, it's not for everyone, but they say it's a great way to find new audience. Bo Jackson says, I look for 23s when capping the Blue Jays. Take in these records. The Seattle Mariners are 23-27 in the postseason all time. Wonder why you look for the 23s. Is there some significance behind it? I know there is. You're the master of geometry, whatever. I'm not even sure how to say it. The Seattle Mariners have a record of 13-23 against the AL East in 2025 regular season and playoffs. Bo Jackson says Toronto Blue Jays have a 22-15 record against the AL West. Look at these numbers. Jorge Kirby, 1-3 against the AL East. 23s or 2-3. Shout out to Jay Peasy. What up, Jay Peasy? You know, not only do we rock the best damn chat in the business, but we got the only Jay Peasy outro in the business. How about that? Can't say that. Nobody can say that. David Wallace says, what up? Jerry Davis says, I had a great week in football, NFL, college football, and absolutely murdered Canadian football. But NHL hockey bullshit eating into my profits. Jerry, I had a really good weekend in the NHL. That under 8.5 or 6.5 chat my ass, but I gave out. I think I gave out all my premium plays on Saturday for the NHL, and I think we went 4-1 there too. Bo Jackson says, I'll be at game 7 tonight. Just pre-drinking before I leave the house. Good for you, dude. Brandon Whedon said, have fun. Irish King says, I went 3-0 in NHL and cashed a pre-made 365 running back parlay mid-afternoon games. Nice. Dana Delp says, Canada parlay. Big Scott 510. The Dagestani beard is coming in nice. I'm trying, dude. I'm getting there. And then the fellas told me I should take a couple days off and go be Santa Claus at the mall. Which might be, I don't know. What are they paying? Is it worth my time? Can I do it early enough and still come back and cap sports? I don't know. Throw me a couple $100 and a free steak. I'll think about doing it. Why not? What the fuck? Why not? Tell all the kids Santa's not real. Peter Grassi says, Toronto wins it tonight. Only team left that will have a chance of beating the Dodgers. Sancho's in the house. Irish King says, triple Seattle parlay. Oh, man. Irish King, I like that, but I can't root for that. And I'll tell you why. I do like it, though. Peter Grassi says, Razor the man did my fireball shots last night, kid. Let's go. David says, USA versus Canada World Series. Bo Jackson says, indeed, Blue Jays 23. Okay. All right. I knew there was some significance behind it. Jerry Davis says, that Irish, I like that parlay. Bo Jackson says, each team in the NFL, NBA, MLB all have numbers that rig the game, though. Irish King, NBA starts tomorrow. Yes, sir. I've already got 2 plays for the NBA for tomorrow. How about that? I've already got 2. Finished off 2-0 in the preseason. I kind of got jacked up. It's like, oh, fuck. Let's go. Irish King says, you savage slate Wednesday. Jerry Davis, oh, wait. Irish Mariners aren't winning. Markel says, why is FanDuel down? Uh-oh. Irish King says, LMFAO. Big Scott says, give the kids parents NHL plays. Santa Mike. Listen, maybe you heard Connor McDavid hasn't scored a goal here in the start of the season. Tell your dad to go put a couple dollars on him to score some money. That's somebody else's bit, but I like it. Let's go, you guys. Here's the first play of the day. Lafreniere and Scheifele. So Lafreniere plays for the New York Rangers and Scheifele plays for the Winnipeg Jets. If you're not familiar, if you're not aware, and that's what we're here for, here to help share the information. I got them both to get 1 point. A lot of different ways to attack it. You could look at goals. What I just say about the lack of goals from Connor McDavid. So if you're playing this guy every night, he's probably sitting around minus 110 to score a goal, maybe minus 150. He hasn't done it yet this season. They're 6 games deep? So you're down like 10 dime, or you're down a dime pretty much on Connor McDavid to score goals. So I don't like the goal scoring props. I'll still fuck with them, especially like when they get to overtime. I'm a degenerate too. I like to get involved in those who's going to score first type of, who's going to get the goal. I mean, they're big plus money odds. So I don't mind taking I told you before when we were doing the UFC, I showed you what I meant by rounding errors. Throwing $10 down to win 3,500 on a 3-leg parlay because I'm going to pick up $500 on one of those guys that wins anyways. It's a rounding error. You look at it how you want, but 2% or 10% even of us, you know what I'm saying. But I opted for points. Now, some guys can look at shots on goal, but some of these guys that are key players, and so their shots on goal end up being like 3.5, and I always seem to get them at 3. So I got to be very selective. But I thought with these two guys, first and foremost, the Winnipeg Jets have a scoring situation happening right now, and the Calgary Flames are the exact opposite. They got a goal stopping problem going on right now. Kyle Connor, solid player for the Winnipeg Jets. probably, I mean, look, they're a big favorite tonight, so they should go out there and stomp. Shopley's got 6 goals already on the season. And the Flames have given up, 30 goals? So it was pretty simple for me to say, I don't care if it's him or Kyle. One's going to pass it to the other, and they're going to score. And so I want that point involved. And then I went to Lafreniere. Sabres haven't won at home this season. It's a problem. And they're not scoring. But that's not going to stay like that forever. And the Wild are giving up goals at even strength. 5-on-5 play. They're 12 goals allowed. It's 10th most in the NHL. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And a Corsi rating for the Alex with Lafreniere and the offense for the Rangers, 47.9. Pretty much means 21 shots this guy's taken on the season already. Someone should get in there and slap that thing in and help him get an assist, at least, if not a goal. And I'm okay with you guys playing, in this case, these 2 players, I selected them specifically for you to go out there and fire on them any way, shape, or form. So bear that in mind. That's how we're going to kick it off. We're going to put a 187 on these bookies. How about that? I always get, maybe it's because I'm a little immature in my elder years. But every time I see the parlay comes out to a 187, I always get excited. I feel like we're gonna nuke somebody. So anyhow, there you go. We're gonna jump into the first game here. We're gonna fire because we got 17 minutes now till we're gonna pop over live, and I'm gonna talk about more stuff. So Seattle Kraken and the Philadelphia Flyers will be the first official action on the card tonight. And pause for emphasis. I forgot to pull up the goalie report. Hang on. Joey Decord and Danny Vladar will be the starting goaltenders for the evening. Decord, number 1. He's 3-0-1. The Kraken have been firing. Kind of an interesting spot that they're coming in here as a road dog like this. And typically early season road or home favorites, if they have they're out there shoving. Vladar, 2-1 on the season. He's got a 1.65 goals against average, 93.4% save percentage there, 91.2 on the other side of things here. As I was looking at this game, I thought the under made sense. Now, look, I've got to be a little more. It's not like baseball where we were just jacking unders all season long, right? Got to be a little more selective about some of these here, but this one just made sense. And it made sense in the fact that the Kraken, despite their record, this is the exact polar opposite of the Detroit Red Wings at the end of last year. Remember what I talked about last year? I said it again to start the season. I've said it a couple times now. Their expected goal production, their scoring chances, and where they were getting high scoring quality shots from against the results didn't add up. Well, it's the exact opposite for the Kraken here. They got a 3-0-2 record. Great start for them. They lost a couple Canadian games in overtime. So be it. They took me down in that Anaheim game to start the season. Fuck Anaheim. I overvalued Anaheim, I think, early in the season here. That being said, they have a goals expected average of 2.84 a game. It's just about the bottom of the league, right? They're not scoring. Somehow they're winning, and they're not scoring. And then their defense expected goals are 2.41. I know it's early in the season, but look, these are the reality behind the numbers. This point of the season, that's second best in the NHL. So, look, Flyers, 14 goals over their opening 5 games of the season. There's a lot of twos in that scenario. 2-2 goes to overtime and it ends up 3-2. I'm not saying don't be a dick. Don't be playing overtimes this early in the season. But a lower scoring game seems like that's on deck for me in this game, and it's even money. So I just thought with all these low opportunities, it made a lot of sense that we take an under with this game. I'm still laughing about give the parents NHL plays. You follow the NHL? Pops. Stop Geo, says Markel. Big ass internet outage today. I heard that. There was a big internet outage. Surprisingly, I think I fixed. I don't want to jinx it. I'm gonna knock on wood. Let's go. Global scum. Joe W's in the house. Markel, giving you the shout out. I think I had user error. Remember when I was bitching about the internet? I hate to embarrass myself here, but I will. I think I had the wrong plug, the wrong adapter for the for the modem. What a dummy. What an idiot. And I did a hard reset the other day, and I was looking at it, and I was like, wait a minute. I have Spectrum. Why does this say DirecTV? Whoops. Whoops. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Can't undo it. I fixed it. Moving forward, here's a parlay that we're going to pop together with this puppy tonight. The Jets are a pretty juice spot here. Look, either this cashes or the Jets lose outright. There you have it. That's the cap. The Flames are 1-5. They're home. They're feisty. They suck. Dead last in offense. We just talked about how bad the Kraken's offense are. These guys have 10 goals. They've allowed 25. So there's like a 4.25, 4-ish, a little over 4 goals allowed per game there. The Jets are coming in 4-1, firing on the season out there, and it's Hellebuck that's been killing it. So he's got a 2.51 goals against average. He's expected to be the starting goalie tonight on the pipes, in the pipes, I should say, between the pipes, I guess is probably the better way to say it. And Dustin Wolf will go on the other side. Now, we know they traded Vladar to the Flyers, and this guy's been struggling. He's probably, I talked about how many goals they're allowing. He's allowing 4.3 a game, 85.4% save percentage. So, look, I mean, I got to like Winnipeg. 5 goals on 32 shots in the loser to start the season to the Dallas Stars. And since then, Hellebuck's been firing. So 2 or fewer goals in 3 straight. This is a battle of Canadian teams, though. And when Canadian teams go head-to-head, the over tends to be money in the bank. So I'm not laying minus 150. I'm not even, like I said, the Jets either cover this parlay and they win this thing like 4-2, or they end up losing 4-2. I'm going to write 4-2 down. And then we'll keep our eyes on that tonight because we got 6 hours of live streaming. So, you know what, Nanya says bank account frozen for hours. You know, you guys, that just makes sense to me now. Something happened with one of the accounts that I use, one of the tools that I use for capping, and it was this afternoon and it wasn't fucking working. And I was like, why isn't this thing working? And it was like, you have to renew. And I was like, renew? It doesn't expire for like 5 more days. It's one of those end of the monthers. So if it comes up, and I fucking reamed them because they were like, oh, you renew in 2 days. I'm like, I just paid you on the September 24th. If it's a month, you guys tell me, am I wrong? Because I'm ready, shoot, aim. If I buy a month on September 24th, should I renew on October 22nd? Or did I just get fucked by 2 days? Or at least 1 day? And I noticed it's been shaving a day off for like the last 6 months. I mean, it's not much. It's a day, but I don't know. To me. I do know I'm going to play the Jets in the over in this spot, and then we're going to go wrap up the NHL tonight. Whoops. I like the Sabres. You know my team. My regionally, it's like can't pick your family. Can't pick your regional team. Which makes me wonder how the hell Razor Sharp's still a fucking Packers fan. But regardless, Sabres are kind of in that restructure, right? They're bringing some healthy players back. This is just early in the season metrics. Fact of the matter is, shitty teams against rested favorites dominate. It's just the number telling you where to play the game is what that tells me. Literally, it's 7-3 in its last 10. It's 206 and 112 over a 325 game sample. It's just fact. Early in the season, the good teams are and the reason is you finish the season strong. When the other team's trying to figure out their new pieces, which I just said, the Sabres bringing in new players, trying to bring in, trying to get their lines and their chemistry right. They started the season a mess, as I told you guys. Literally, the first couple games, they were auto fades. Yeah, I like them tonight, and I feel like they always battle Montreal hard, but I just think there's too many moving parts with this monster streak there that's telling us Montreal should go out there and put boots to ass. Now, it's Alex Lyon. Okay. He's got 2.43 goals against average. I've told you his story. He stinks. He wasn't good enough to play for Philly when they had nobody. They literally called me on the phone and were like, hey, We're thinking about dropping Alex Leon. In fact, we already did it. Could you come play for us tonight? I was like, Jesus, guys, I'm sorry. I got to do pregaming at 6. I can't make it. They're like, all right, we'll just put a shooter tutor in the goal. We don't need this guy. That's how bad he was. And they can't figure out their goaltending because they've got Devin Levi, and they still want to work on him from a development perspective and not rush him into the NHL. So back-to-back wins for the Sabres. Look at them. They're hot right now. Probably the hottest streak they'll have all year. 92.8% saving for Alex Leon, as much as I'm harsh on him. Doobs, probably should figure this guy's name out, is a stand-up killer. 2-0 on the season, 1.45 goals against average, 94% save percentage. Has them making and markings for a lower scoring game. It just feels to me, my gut tells me, it's like I was saying last night, my gut tells me a lot of these primetime games have gone over. And then I think it was Ramon that came back and said, well, actually, it's about 500. And then I look back and it was like 5-1 to the over in the last 6. My gut tells me when these two teams play, this thing goes over. But I think it's Montreal that stomps. I think they dominate. They've come out great form to start the season. Tough breaks early. I told you there was a big, sharp, respected bettor that came in and fired a bomb on Montreal to make the playoffs and then win the Stanley Cup, which still think it's Toronto's year. Buffalo scoring goals, though. They've outscored them 11-4 in their last 2 games. That's how you win games. That's how you do it. And so they're going to fuck around with their goaltending situation here because they have some upcoming scheduling challenges. I just think this is a great spot for Montreal. The better team should dominate 4-2 to kick this thing off. And the Sabres coming off of 2 wins. They kind of got that monkey off their back. The pressure's released a little bit. It's a little bit of release in the pressure valve. Montreal on the over 6 would be a great little parlay I would consider playing as well. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Let's see what you guys have to say. Sancho says you got scammed. China's lurking, says Nanya. The futon bets, same with one of my capping apps, moved to the middle of the month instead. Yeah, it was weird, dude. Yeah, it sounds like I got scammed, doesn't it? I know, Markel. I know. Dude, I had some Giants money line and some Arizona money lines. So Stop Joe says because there used to be 13 months on the calendar. Oh, there didn't. When? Were we talking about a Mayan calendar? Come on. I was thinking of the 30, 31 days thing, but we're counting at 28 business days, but you got to put that in your disclaimer. All right, let's go to this ALCS game between the Blue Jays and the Mariners. Stop Joe says pimp slap Mikey Money about to come out as emergency goalie. I played goalie one time in real life. True story. I didn't like it at all. First of all, it's kind of fucked up seeing some dude fucking hammer a bomb at you for 100 miles an hour, or 85, 90 miles an hour. It's kind of messed up. It's hard not to want to get out of the way. I mean, all natural tendency tells you move, right? When this guy's winding up to take a big power slap shot at you, kind of hard to sit there and be like, bring it, dude. And then I told you the way I play is I like to shoot it at the goalie's face mask. So it makes it even more difficult to want to sit there and it makes your ears ring when you take one off the face mask. So anyhow, Game 7, you guys know the deal. It's a big battle royale, as some would call it. And it's been juicing to the Toronto Blue Jays until just recently, as we get closer to tip-off. Minus 125 is now minus 126. It got as high as minus 130 before it settled back in a little bit. 59% of the bets and 61% of the cash are on the Blue Jays. The total's at 7.5, and you have 74% of the bets and 74% of the bets are on the over. 61% of the cash is on the under. And if you're new here, you guys, I talk about it pretty regularly. I always love to educate and talk about where at least my theory and philosophy on this has a lot to do with public versus sharps. And how do we depict that from this information? Well, we look at the percentage of bets, and that counts as all the tickets being written. It's the soup, everything that goes into it. Your parlays, your teasers, your this, your that, your the other things, player props, $1 bets, $5 bets, $100 bets. It's every ticket being written. Traditionally, there's a lot of public stuff in there. But the money, the percentage of money is typically somebody coming in with a backpack full of cash. Doesn't mean they're sharp, but more often than not, someone's not coming in dropping 10 dimes on a spot because they're public, unless it's the Super Bowl. So we do have a little bit of a disparity there. I'll tell you this. To me, it's a Toronto spot. I wanted to try to maximize the value here because Kirby's been getting busted up. He's getting deep into this playoffs now. And the last game he got crushed, it was against the Blue Jays. So, he's got an ERA of 7.07 in the postseason. He gave up 3 homers and 8 runs the last time out there, and it's game 7. So I expect short leash situation. If he gets in trouble early, not only that, but you got the best team in the American League at home showing plate discipline like no other in the league. So I think it's a bad spot for Kirby. It's just juiced. It's really juiced, showing that they don't have much confidence in Kirby either. So that being said, the way that I look to attack it was give me Toronto. Teams that come in, game 7s, teams that come in by winning game 6 at 4 or more runs are 7-2 overall. That is the Blue Jays from that last game. They did just beat the Mariners 6-2 or 6-2. So I slapped the two together to try to get maximum plus money value. I got a lot of trends that say this game goes under. Game 7s, short leashes, not letting guys try to get out of the jam. So that said, I'm going to give you guys one football game here because it's the 7 o'clock game. 7 p.m. football game, and then we will put the bow on the show and get over to the other side, get the fellas in and start talking about some of these games and chopping it up. But I wanted to share my action early with you guys. Looking at the spread, looking at the cash flow, looking at the splits. I dodged COVID, by the way, for anybody that's curious. I know I said I might have had a run-in with it there. -3.5 moved to -6. There's actually 5.5s out there on DraftKings. My book has a 5.5, so 65% of the bets are on the Bucks. 59% of the cash are on the Lions. You can see the record there on the screen. Total open at 49.5. It's moved to 54.5. 54% of the bets and 75% of the cash are on the over. I do think we see a score fest in this game. Both these guys are just too damn dominant not to go out there and fire when it comes to the quarterback situation. We know Baker Mayfield and what he's done. Second lease on life coming in here. And then, of course, you got Jared Goff on the other side. I mean, look, the secondary piece of the trade between Matt Stafford and Jared Goff. Matt Stafford goes out and crushes it the other day out there. And this offense, game 1, they had to get used to new offensive and defensive coordinators. And, man, they have been just stomping teams ever since, but they're coming off a loss. And that puts them, if there's ever going to be a spot to buy low on the Lions, it's this game here. The number opened up saying that they're a 2.5 point favorite or 2.5 point better team. I agree. And the thing about this is these boys don't kick field goals in Detroit. So the reality is now you got a Lions team coming off a loss. They just played Kansas City. Kansas City was do or die mode. So that was a big one. And after starting the season off, 4-1, it was kind of expected that I knew they were going to take that lump. I even told everybody they were going to take that lump. The Bucs on the other side just beat up that San Francisco team that we saw dominate last night. It was a great San Fran spot because they just lost to the Bucs. So it's kind of that yin-yang effect in this one. But yeah, Dan Campbell's the master statistician when it comes to bouncing back, especially when the team that's coming off of wins. So his team off a loss, the other team off a win. And they're not favored by more than 7. So they're not expected to blow them out. He rolls out there 29-4 against the spread. And then the other one that I went to there, you'll see it. I parlayed St. Brown and Goff. Goff over 261.5 yards. And I don't think -112 is right. Sorry. Let me double check what that number is real quick. No, it's +241. It's way off. It's way off. It's way off. The -112, I think, was the -5.5. This is 241. St. Brown touchdown. This has to do with previous experience. The last 2 times these two teams played each other. Yards, number 1. And St. Brown particularly. I mean, he went out there and he cooked. This guy was firing. And, if you look at Jared Goff's situation out there, playing against these last 2 games, 307 yards and 287 passing yards. St. Brown, 11 catches, 119 yards, and 8 catches, 77 yards with a touchdown out there the last 2 times they played out there. You don't run against Tampa. You pass the ball. We saw that with Mac Jones. He puts up almost 350. But CMC, who crushed it last night, only had 54 yards on 17 carries. So I think they exploit him through the air. I like this little 2-leg parlay. It's a nice little big plus money spot to put the bow on the show. And we're going to shut it down, you guys. So get ready, get set. We're going to fly on the other side and get this thing started here in just a couple of minutes. So make sure you jump on over. We'll see you guys here shortly as we get ready to pop off for the Lot Monday Night Football stream. Good luck, everybody. Have a good night. See you soon.